Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, The English Globe. I hope you all are well and ready to learn something useful and exciting today. My name is Adam, and as always, I'm joined by my amazing co-host and English teacher, Julia.
Hello, hi everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We are so happy that you are here with us to improve your English step by step. No matter where you are, at home, walking, cooking, or even on your way to work or school, we are here to help you learn English in a fun, simple, and effective way.
That's right. And today, we have a very powerful topic. It's something that can really change your life. Something that many successful people use. And that topic is how to set smart goals and achieve them.
Yes, it's one of my favorite topics. Why? Because when you know how to set clear goals and follow them, you can do so many great things in your life. You can become better at English, improve your health, grow in your job, or even travel the world. It all starts with a goal.
But before we talk about SMART goals, and we will explain exactly what SMART means later, let's first talk about something very simple. Let's start from the beginning. What is a goal? And why do we need goals in life?
Okay, let's begin. A goal is something you want to do or achieve. A goal is something you want in your life. It can be something small, like I want to wake up early tomorrow, or something big, like I want to become a doctor, or I want to speak English fluently. A goal is like a target. It gives you direction. It helps you focus.
Exactly. Imagine you are driving a car. If you don't know where you are going, you will just drive in circles or stop somewhere random. But if you have a clear destination, like a city or a friend's house, you will know which road to take. A goal is like that destination. It gives you a reason to move forward.
Yes, I really like that example. Life is a journey, and your goals are the destinations. Without goals, it's very easy to feel lost. But with goals, you feel more focused, more excited, and more confident.
Let's give some simple examples for our beginner English learners. Maybe you are listening to this podcast because your goal is to speak English well. That's a great goal. Or maybe your goal is to pass your school exams, or find a new job, or save money to travel to another country. These are all good goals.
Let's say one student wants to read one English book every month. That's a small but powerful goal. Another student wants to practice speaking English every day for 10 minutes. That's another excellent goal. These small steps can help you grow faster than you think.
But here's a question for you, Julia. Why do some people have goals, but still don't achieve them?
Good question. Sometimes people set goals that are too big or too unclear. For example, someone might say, I want to be successful, but what does that really mean? It's not clear. It's not easy to follow. It's like saying, I want to be happy, but without knowing what will make you happy. Without a plan, it's hard to move forward.
Yes, that's the problem. Many people don't know how to set the right kind of goals. That's where SMART goals come in. We will explain that very soon. But first, let's talk more about the benefits of having goals.
Sure. One big benefit is that goals give you motivation. When you have a goal, you feel more energy to do things. For example, if your goal is to improve your English before a job interview, you will probably study more, watch more English videos, listen to podcasts like this one, and try to speak more often.
That's true. Another benefit is focus. A goal helps you focus your time. Instead of doing many things without a plan, you do one thing with full attention. Let's say you have 30 minutes a day for studying. If you have a clear goal, you will use that time in a smarter way.
Yes, and having goals can also help you feel proud. When you reach a goal, even a small one, you feel happy and confident. You feel like, yes, I did it. And that feeling is very important for your personal growth.
And here's one more thing. Goals help you see progress. Sometimes it's hard to see how far you've come. But when you have a goal, you can look back and say, wow, last month I couldn't say this sentence in English, but now I can. You start to believe in yourself more.
That's a great point. Belief in yourself is so important. Many people don't believe they can change, but I promise you, with small steps, with clear goals, and with the right mindset, you can change your life.
And don't forget, your goals don't have to be the same as other people's goals. Maybe your friend wants to become a lawyer. That's great for them. But maybe you want to open a small cafe. That's also a wonderful goal. Your life, your goals.
Exactly. Your goals should be personal. They should make you feel happy and excited. And they should match your values, your dreams, and your lifestyle. That's how you stay motivated for the long term.
So now, let's do a quick summary. What did we learn in this first part?
Number 1. A goal is something you want to do or achieve in your life. Number 2. Goals give you motivation, focus, and confidence. Number 3. Goals help you move forward and see progress. Number 4. Your goals should be clear, personal, and exciting.
And number 5. Even small goals can lead to big results. So never feel that your goal is too small or too simple. Every step matters.
Now that we understand what a goal is and why it's important, it's time to go deeper. In the next section, we will talk about something very special, something called SMART goals. These are goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And don't worry, we will explain each one in a very easy way, with examples.
Yes. So stay with us, friends. This next part will help you become a goal-setting master. And remember, you are not just learning English, you are learning life skills too.
We'll be right back after a short pause. Take a deep breath, grab a notebook, and get ready for part 2 of our podcast. What does SMART mean?
We hope you're enjoying the podcast so far and starting to think about your own personal goals in life. In the first part, we talked about what goals are and why they are important. And now it's time to explore something that can truly change the way you set goals, something called SMART goals. You might be wondering, what does SMART mean? Well, SMART is actually a word that helps us remember 5 important rules for setting better goals. When we say SMART, we are using the first letter of 5 key words: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Don't worry if this sounds a little complicated right now. We are going to explain each word in a very simple and easy way, and we'll give you many examples so you can really understand everything.
That's right, Adam. And to all our listeners who are learning English, remember that this podcast is not just about improving your language. It's about building life skills that can help you grow, improve, and succeed in many different areas of your life. The SMART system is very popular all around the world, especially in schools, businesses, and coaching programs, because it works. It helps people stay focused, stay motivated, and actually finish the things they start. So now let's look at the first letter, S, which stands for specific.
Let's think about what it means to be specific. A specific goal is very clear. It tells you exactly what you want to do. Many people make the mistake of setting goals that are too general or too vague, like I want to get better at English, or I want to be successful. These goals sound nice, but they don't give your brain a clear picture of what success really looks like. When your goal is too general, your brain doesn't know where to start, and that makes it harder to take action. But when your goal is specific, your mind becomes focused, and you start thinking about clear steps.
Exactly, Adam. Let me give you an example. If someone says, I want to be healthy, that's a general goal. But if they say, I want to eat vegetables with dinner every day, that's a specific goal. See the difference? The second one tells you exactly what action to take. If your goal is I want to improve my English, that's okay. But it's better to say, I want to learn 10 new English words every day, or I want to watch 1 English video every night before bed. These goals give you a clear action that you can follow.
All right, now let's move on to the second part of SMART. M is for measurable. This means you can check your progress and see how far you've come. When you make a measurable goal, it includes numbers or specific results. For example, if you say, "I want to save money," that's not measurable. We don't know how much money or how long you'll save. But if you say, "I want to save $50 every week," now that's measurable. You can count it. You can track it. You can say, "Yes, I saved $50 this week. I'm on the right track."
And this is very helpful when learning English too. Let's say you want to practice speaking. You can make it measurable by saying, "I will speak English for 15 minutes every day." Or, if you want to read more, say, "I will read 2 pages of an English book every morning." These are measurable goals. Why is this important? Because when you can measure your progress, you feel motivated. You can say, "I've done this for 3 days in a row. I'm doing great." And if you miss a day, you can catch up. Measurable goals make it easier to stay on the path.
Now let's talk about the letter A, which stands for achievable. This means your goal should be possible to do. It should be something you can really achieve based on your time, your situation, and your ability. Sometimes people set goals that are too big too fast, like, "I want to become fluent in English in 1 month," or "I want to lose 10 kilograms in 1 week." These are not realistic goals. And when your goals are not realistic, you will feel disappointed, you might give up, and you will think you failed, even if you didn't.
Yes, and we don't want that. We want you to feel proud, strong, and successful. That's why your goals should match your current life. If you have a busy job or a lot of schoolwork, then maybe your achievable goal is to study English 10 minutes a day. That's great. You don't need to study for hours. What's important is that your goal feels possible for you. It should challenge you a little, but not so much that it becomes stressful or painful. Small goals that you can actually do will help you move forward faster than big goals you can't finish.
Okay, moving forward. The 4th letter is R, and that stands for relevant. A relevant goal is something that matters to you. It should match your needs, your dreams, and your future plans. If you set a goal just because someone else said you should do it, but you don't really care, then it will be hard to stay motivated. But when the goal is meaningful to you, it becomes powerful. It becomes something you want to work on every day, because it fits your life and your values.
Yes, Adam. For example, let's say someone sets a goal to study French, but they really want to travel to Canada where people speak English. That goal might not be relevant for them, but if their dream is to study in an English-speaking country, then an English goal is relevant and helpful. Ask yourself, why do I want this goal? How will it help me? If you know the answer, that means your goal is relevant. And relevant goals feel good. They give you purpose and energy.
And finally, the last letter of SMART is T, which stands for time-bound. This means your goal should have a time limit. It should have a clear deadline. Why? Because when there's no deadline, we usually delay it. We say, "I'll do it tomorrow," and then tomorrow becomes next week, and then next month, and then we forget. But when you say, "I will finish this by Friday," or "I will study for my English test every evening this week," you are giving your mind a clear plan. Your brain starts working with a timeline.
I love this part. Deadlines can be your best friend. Not because they are stressful, but because they help you act now. Time-bound goals turn someday into today. For example, if your goal is, "I want to learn 100 new words," that's nice. But if you say, "I want to learn 100 new words in the next 30 days," now your brain starts planning. That means about 3 to 4 new words every day. That's easy to manage, and you can check your progress each week. Time makes the goal real.
So let's do a quick review, Julia. What does SMART stand for again?
Sure. S is for specific. Your goal should be clear and exact. M is for measurable. You should be able to track it. A is for achievable. Your goal should be possible for you. R is for relevant. It should matter to you personally. T is for time-bound. It should have a clear deadline.
Perfect. And now that you understand what each letter means, in the next section, we'll show you how to create your own SMART goal step by step. We will walk through examples, give you tips, and help you create something that really works for you. So get your pen and paper ready, and let's set your first SMART goal together.
Yes. And remember, don't worry if it feels new or difficult. That's why we're here. We'll go slowly, explain everything clearly, and give you time to practice. You can do this, and we believe in you.
We'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us. Your SMART goals are coming to life. Welcome back again, everyone, and thank you for staying with us on this journey to understanding how to set SMART goals and actually achieve them. We hope that everything we've explained so far is making sense and helping you think more clearly about your personal goals, your daily routines, and the future that you want to create for yourself. Now that you understand what SMART stands for, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, it's time to take all of that knowledge and use it in a practical way so that you can create a real goal that you will work on every day with confidence and clarity.
Yes, and we want you to know that this part is not only about listening, it's about doing. So if you have a notebook or your phone nearby, you can write things down as we go, or you can just listen carefully and think deeply about your own ideas, dreams, and habits. We are going to walk you through each step slowly and give you a full example that shows how a big, general dream can be turned into a SMART goal that is easy to understand, easy to follow, and easy to measure over time. And don't worry, we're going to keep the English simple, speak clearly, and repeat the important parts so that all our beginner learners can follow along with confidence.
Let's begin at the very beginning. The first step is to think about something you really want. This could be something small or something big. It could be related to your health, your learning, your work, your family, or your future plans. At this stage, it doesn't need to be perfect or smart yet. Just ask yourself, what is something I want to improve or achieve in my life? For example, maybe your dream is, I want to speak English fluently, or I want to feel more confident when I talk to other people in English. This is a great starting point. It's a clear idea, even though it's still general.
That's right. Everyone starts with a general idea, and then we make it better. Let's say someone's general dream is, I want to get better at English. That's a good goal, but we need to make it more clear and more powerful. So in the next steps, we'll change this goal using the SMART system, and by the end, you'll have a goal that is easier to follow, easier to check, and easier to complete. So take a moment now. Think about something you want. What is one thing you really want to work on this month? If you don't have a goal yet, it's okay. You can use the example we'll create together.
Now that you have a general idea in your mind, let's make it specific. Ask yourself, what exactly do I want to do? What is the clear action I will take? So if your general dream is, I want to get better at English, think about how you want to improve. Do you want to speak more, read more, learn new words, write better sentences? For our example, let's say the person wants to speak better English. That's great. So we change the general goal to a more specific one like, I want to practice speaking English every day.
And that makes a big difference. When you say, I want to practice speaking English every day, now your mind knows exactly what to do. It's not a dream anymore. It's a clear action. You can already imagine it happening. You can picture yourself saying English words, having short conversations, and feeling more confident. So always remember, the more clear your goal is, the easier it is to take action. Don't say, I want to be better. Instead say, I want to do this specific thing every day. That's how change begins.
Great. Now it's time to make your goal measurable. That means you must add something you can count or track. Ask yourself, how much? How many? How often? This helps you know if you're making progress. So let's go back to our example. I want to practice speaking English every day. That's good, but let's improve it. How long will you practice? You could say, I want to practice speaking English for 15 minutes every day. Now that's measurable. You know when you've done it. You can say, yes, I did my 15 minutes today, or no, I missed it today, but I'll try again tomorrow.
This is so important because measurable goals give you feedback. They help you see your progress and feel motivated. You can even use a small notebook or a calendar and put a check mark every time you complete your practice. After 1 week, you can see how many days you succeeded. And don't forget, if you only practiced for 10 minutes one day instead of 15, that's okay. You're still improving, and you can try again tomorrow. The important thing is that you're taking action, and you're tracking it in a way that helps you stay on track.
All right, now we move to the next part. Is your goal achievable? That means, is it possible for you to do it? Is it realistic? Can you really do it every day with your current schedule, energy, and life responsibilities? Maybe you want to practice for 30 minutes, but you are very busy. Then it's better to start small. So instead of 30 minutes, maybe just 10 or 15 minutes is more realistic for now. It's always better to start small and stay consistent than to start big and give up quickly.
Exactly. Many people make the mistake of being too ambitious at the beginning. They get excited and say, I will study for 2 hours every day, but after a few days they feel tired, busy, or distracted, and then they stop. So remember this, a small goal that you do every day is stronger than a big goal you only do once. So in our example, I will practice speaking English for 15 minutes every day is simple, clear, and very possible. Even if you're busy, you can do it in the morning, during lunch, or before bed. Keep it achievable, and you'll keep moving forward.
Next, we ask, is this goal relevant to your life? Is it something that really matters to you? Will it help you in your job, your studies, or your future plans? In our example, the person wants to speak English better, and maybe they are planning to travel, study abroad, or work with people from other countries. That makes the goal very relevant. It's not just a random idea. It's something that connects to their real life and future success. When your goal is meaningful, it becomes easier to stay motivated every single day.
Yes, and that's why it's so important to choose goals that come from your heart. Don't choose a goal just because your friend or teacher told you to. Choose something that you care about. Ask yourself, why do I want this? How will this help me grow? If you have a strong reason, your goal becomes stronger. And when things get hard, because sometimes they will, you'll remember your reason and you'll keep going. That's the power of a relevant goal.
Finally, we add the last piece, the time. When will you start? When will you finish? If you say, I want to practice speaking for 15 minutes every day for 1 month, now you have a full, smart goal. You can put it on your calendar, and you can count the days. After 30 days, you can look back and say, wow, I completed my goal. Or, I did 20 out of 30 days, and I learned a lot. Adding time gives your brain a deadline. It helps you take action now instead of waiting.
And time also helps you celebrate. When the month ends, you can feel proud and maybe you'll create a new goal. Maybe next month you'll try 20 minutes a day or start having short conversations with friends or online. The time gives your goal structure, and structure helps you stay strong. So let's say your full SMART goal is this. I will practice speaking English for 15 minutes every day for the next 30 days. That's a perfect goal. It's SMART, and it's yours.
Let's review this step-by-step process once more. First, start with a general dream. Then, make it specific by saying exactly what you want to do. Add numbers or time to make it measurable. Check if it's realistic and achievable. Ask if it's relevant to your life and your goals. Finally, choose a deadline or time frame to make it time-bound. That's how you turn a dream into a SMART goal.
We hope you're feeling excited and inspired right now, and we hope you're already thinking of your own SMART goal that you want to start today. In the next section, we'll talk about how to stay motivated and what to do when you face problems or lose energy. Remember, setting goals is the first step. but staying on the path is the real journey.
So stay with us, and we'll show you how to stay strong, stay focused, and achieve what you've started. We'll be back in just a few seconds. We've come a long way so far, and we hope you're still with us, feeling motivated and ready to continue your journey. So far, we've talked about how to take a dream or an idea and turn it into a clear, smart goal that is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. But as you may already know, just creating a goal is not enough. The real challenge begins after you make your plan, because every day you will face distractions, problems, low energy, or even negative thoughts that tell you to stop or give up. That's why in this section, we want to teach you how to stay motivated even when things get difficult, and how to overcome the small and big obstacles that can block your progress if you're not prepared.
That's a great point, Adam. Many people start their goals with so much excitement and energy, but after a few days or weeks they start to feel tired, they get busy, or they stop believing in themselves. This happens to almost everyone, and it's completely normal. So don't feel bad if it happens to you too. What's important is how you respond to those moments. Do you stop and give up? Or do you find ways to keep going, even if it's just a small step forward each day? In this part of the podcast, we will give you some simple strategies that anyone can use to stay motivated, even if your life is busy or your goal feels difficult.
One of the best ways to stay motivated is to always remember why you started in the first place. Go back to your original reason. Maybe you want to speak better English so you can travel, get a better job, pass an exam, or simply feel more confident when talking to others. That reason is like your inner fire. It gives you energy when you feel tired. So when you wake up in the morning, say to yourself, I'm learning English because it will help me grow and create more opportunities in life. If you say it out loud or write it on a piece of paper and look at it every day, it will remind you that this goal is important and meaningful, not just something you're doing for fun or because someone told you to.
Yes. And another idea is to write your reason on a sticky note and put it somewhere you can see it often, like on your mirror, your phone, or your desk. That small reminder can help you focus again when your energy is low, or when you feel like skipping a day. Even professional athletes, musicians, and successful people need reminders of their why. Your reason is personal and powerful, and it can help you feel strong when you want to give up.
Sometimes people lose motivation because they try to do too much at one time. They get excited and think, I will study English for 3 hours every day. But after a few days it becomes too hard, and they stop completely. That's why one of the best ways to stay motivated is to keep your practice small and simple. If you set a goal like practicing English for just 10 to 15 minutes every day, it becomes much easier to keep that promise. You don't feel tired, you don't feel pressure, and most importantly, you feel successful every time you complete it.
Exactly. Small wins build big confidence. When you finish your 15 minutes of practice, you feel proud. You feel like a person who keeps promises, who takes action, who is moving forward. And when you feel proud, you want to continue. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going. It's okay to miss a day sometimes, just don't miss 2 days in a row. Start again, even if it's small. The most successful learners are not the ones who do a lot once in a while. They are the ones who do a little every single day without giving up.
Another powerful strategy is to use a habit tracker or a calendar to mark your progress. This is very simple. Every time you complete your goal, for example, practicing English for 15 minutes, you put a check mark or a sticker on the calendar. After a few days, you start to see a chain of success. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 1 week. And you feel proud. That visual progress becomes a new motivation. You want to continue because you don't want to break the chain.
Yes, it's like playing a game with yourself. You challenge yourself to keep the chain going. And you can even reward yourself after 1 week or 1 month. For example, if you practice for 30 days without missing more than 2 days, give yourself a small reward. Maybe you buy yourself a nice book, enjoy a special meal, or take some relaxing time. Rewards make your brain happy and tell you, you are doing great, keep going. Motivation becomes stronger when you mix discipline with celebration.
Sometimes, doing things alone can feel difficult, especially when your energy is low or when no one knows about your goals. That's why it helps to share your SMART goal with a friend, a family member, or even a teacher or classmate. When someone else knows your goal, they can support you, check on you, and even join you. You can say, "Hey, I'm trying to practice English for 15 minutes every day. Will you ask me how I'm doing each week?" That small connection makes a big difference.
Yes, and if you find a learning partner who has a similar goal, you can practice together and stay motivated together. You can send short voice messages to each other, talk about your progress once a week, or even celebrate your success together at the end of the month. When you work with someone else, you feel stronger. You feel like you are part of a team. And when one person feels tired, the other can give support. Motivation grows when you are not alone on the journey.
This is one of the most important tips of all: be kind to yourself, especially on the hard days. There will be times when you feel lazy, tired, or unmotivated. You might miss a day. You might feel like you're not improving fast enough. That's okay. Everyone has those feelings. Don't say, "I'm a failure," or "I'm not good at this." Instead, say, "It's just one bad day, and tomorrow I will try again." Motivation does not mean feeling perfect every day. It means you keep moving even when it's hard.
Yes, and remember, progress is not always fast or easy, but it is always possible. Every time you practice, every time you learn one new word, every time you try again, you are improving. You are building a better future for yourself. So be patient, be proud, and speak kindly to yourself. Your goal is not just to reach the final result. It's to become the kind of person who takes action, who doesn't give up, and who keeps growing.
That was a lot of great advice, and I hope everyone listening now feels a little stronger, a little more hopeful, and a lot more ready to keep going. Motivation is not magic. It's something we build with small steps, with good habits, with the right support, and with belief in ourselves.
That's right, Adam. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep trying. In the next section, we'll talk about what to do when you actually finish your goal. How do you reflect, learn from your journey, and create your next SMART goal so that you can keep growing?
Yes, because success is not the end, it's just another beginning. So, stay with us, friends, and we'll be back in just a moment with the final part of today's episode. If you've been listening to this episode from the beginning, then you already know a lot about how to set SMART goals, how to stay motivated, and how to keep moving forward when things feel hard. But there's one more important step in the process that we want to talk about now, and that step is reflection. Reflection means taking time to think about your journey, to look back at what you did, what you learned, and how you grew during the process of working toward your goal. Many people forget to do this step, but it's actually very important because it helps you celebrate your progress, understand your mistakes, and get ready to start your next goal with more knowledge and confidence.
That's so true, Adam. Think about it like this. When you finish a good book or complete a long trip, you don't just move on to the next thing right away. You stop for a moment. You think about what happened, what you enjoyed, what surprised you, and what you would do differently next time. The same idea works for your goals. After you complete your SMART goal, maybe you finished your 30 days of daily English practice, or maybe you finally gave your first short English speech. You should pause and reflect. Ask yourself some simple questions like, what went well? What helped me stay on track? What was difficult for me? What did I learn about myself as a learner? And how can I improve for the future?
Let's start by thinking about the things that went well. When you reflect on your journey, one of the best things you can do is focus first on your successes. For example, maybe you learned 50 new English words, or maybe you practiced speaking out loud every day, or maybe you finally stopped feeling afraid to make mistakes. These are big wins, and they should be celebrated. When you focus on your wins, even the small ones, your brain starts to feel more positive. You feel proud, and you build more self-confidence. It's important to say to yourself, "I did a good job. I kept going. I improved." This will help you believe in your next goal even more.
Yes, and don't be afraid to write it all down. Take out a notebook or open a note on your phone and write something like, "This month, I finished my SMART goal. I practiced English for 15 minutes every day. I learned new phrases, I felt more confident, and I stayed consistent." You can even write down moments that made you smile or feel successful, like the first time you understood a YouTube video without subtitles, or the first time you spoke to someone in English and they understood you. These moments are gold, and they show how far you've come.
Now, after you look at what went well, the next step is to look at what was difficult. It's important to be honest with yourself here, not to be negative or hard on yourself, but to be open and curious. Ask yourself, what made it difficult to stay motivated? Were there any days when I wanted to quit? Did I face any big challenges like time management, distractions, fear, or self-doubt? Understanding these challenges will help you improve in the future. Every challenge is a teacher. It shows you what to work on next.
Exactly. And when you face challenges, it doesn't mean you failed. It means you are human. For example, maybe you found it hard to practice at the same time every day. That's okay. Now you know that for your next goal, you need to choose a more flexible time or use reminders to help you remember. Or maybe you felt shy about speaking. Now you know that speaking practice is something you want to focus on more in your next goal. The key is to learn and grow, not to feel bad. Remember, mistakes are just steps on the road to success.
After reflecting on your journey, both your successes and your challenges, it's time to look ahead. What's next for you? One great idea is to take everything you learned from your last goal and use it to make a new SMART goal. For example, maybe you finished your goal of listening to English podcasts for 15 minutes every day. Now, your next SMART goal could be something like, "I will speak for 5 minutes out loud every day about my day in English using a voice recorder for the next 30 days. See how this goal is also specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound? That's how we keep building, one goal at a time.
Yes, and your next SMART goal should feel exciting but also realistic. Think about what skill you want to improve next. Do you want to speak more fluently? Do you want to read faster? Do you want to write better emails in English? Choose one small area to focus on, and then create your goal using the SMART method. And if you ever feel unsure, go back and listen to the beginning of this podcast again. We explain it step by step. Every time you set and complete a SMART goal, you become a better learner and a stronger person.
Finally, don't forget to celebrate. Take a moment to feel good about what you've done. Say to yourself, "I set a goal, I worked on it, and I finished it. I am making progress." You can do something special to reward yourself. Maybe a nice meal, some relaxing time, or buying something small that makes you smile. Celebrating success helps your brain enjoy the learning process more, and it gives you the energy to keep going. Learning should feel good, not just serious or hard.
That's right, Adam. You're not just learning English. You're learning how to grow, how to stay focused, how to believe in yourself, and how to achieve something important. These are life skills, and they will help you in every area, not just language. So keep going, take one small step every day, and don't stop. The road to success is not straight, but if you keep moving, you will get there. We believe in you.
That brings us to the end of this part of the podcast. Remember, setting SMART goals is not just about finishing a task. It's about becoming the kind of person who takes action, learns from every step, and builds a better future with each goal you complete.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope this episode has helped you feel more clear, more focused, and more excited about your goals. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share it with a friend, leave a comment, or listen again to any part that you found helpful.
So far, we've talked about what SMART goals are, how to break them down, how to stay motivated, and how to reflect after completing a goal. Now, we want to explore something that many learners, especially beginners, struggle with. And that is consistency and procrastination. Consistency means doing something regularly, even if it's a small step. And procrastination means delaying or putting off tasks, especially when we know we should be doing them. These two ideas are very important when we talk about achieving goals, because no matter how good your plan is, if you don't stick to it, it's going to be hard to see results.
Yes, Adam, and this is something that even native speakers and professional adults struggle with, not just language learners. We all have busy days. We get tired. We feel lazy sometimes. Or we feel nervous about starting something new. That's why it's very important to talk about how to stay consistent with your goal, even on days when you don't feel like working. Because guess what? Success is not about being perfect every day. It's about showing up most days. And small, repeated actions lead to big results. If you can learn to stay consistent and avoid delaying your tasks, you will become a much more effective and confident learner.
Let's begin with consistency. One of the easiest ways to stay consistent with your goal is to create a small daily routine that you can follow without too much effort. This routine should include just 1 or 2 simple actions. For example, if your goal is to improve your English speaking, your daily routine might look like this. First, listen to a short podcast for 10 minutes in the morning, then speak out loud for 5 minutes about what you learned. That's it. Just 15 minutes a day. You don't need to study for hours. What matters is that you make it a habit. A habit is something you do again and again until it becomes normal, like brushing your teeth or drinking water.
Yes, and here's a great tip for making routines easier. Connect your English habit with something you already do. For example, after you make your morning coffee or tea, say a few English sentences to yourself. Or after you brush your teeth at night, listen to an English story while relaxing. This is called habit stacking, connecting a new habit with an old one. It helps your brain remember what to do, and it saves time because you're already in a routine. If you do this every day, your goal will become part of your life, and you won't have to use as much willpower to keep going.
Now let's talk about procrastination. This is when we know we need to do something, but we keep waiting or avoiding it. We tell ourselves, "I'll do it later," or "I'm too tired right now," or "I need to feel more ready first." But the truth is, most of the time, we never really feel 100% ready. And waiting doesn't help. So why do we procrastinate? Often, it's because the task feels too big, or we feel afraid of making a mistake, or we don't know where to start. That's why having a SMART goal helps. It gives you a clear direction so your mind doesn't feel confused or overwhelmed.
That's exactly right. And here's something important to remember. You don't need to feel motivated to start. You just need to start. Motivation often comes after action, not before. If you wait to feel excited or inspired, you might never begin. But if you just take the first small step, even if you don't feel like it, your brain starts to feel more active, more focused, and more motivated. So next time you catch yourself thinking, "I'll do it tomorrow," try to stop, take a deep breath, and say, "I'll just do it for 5 minutes today." Most of the time, you'll keep going once you begin.
Let's talk about how to use simple tools to help stay on track. One of the best tools is a habit tracker. This can be a calendar, an app, or even just a notebook where you check off each day that you completed your task. It might sound small, but it gives your brain a feeling of progress, which makes you want to continue. Another helpful tool is using alarms or reminders on your phone. Set a daily alarm that says, "Time for English," or "Let's practice for 10 minutes." This small reminder can push you to take action, even when your day is busy.
And if you have a study buddy or a language partner, that's even better. Share your SMART goal with them and check in once a week. Having someone to support you can increase your motivation and make you feel more responsible. You don't even need a real person. You can record yourself speaking and pretend you're talking to a friend. You can also use social media to post your progress or write journal entries online. When you make your learning more visible, you'll feel more excited to keep going.
Now here's something very important, especially for beginner students. If you miss a day, or two, or even a week, don't give up. Many people think, "Oh no, I broke my habit. I failed. I'm not consistent anymore." And then they quit completely. But one mistake doesn't erase all your progress. In fact, the best learners are not the ones who never miss a day. They are the ones who always come back, even after a break. Being consistent means coming back again and again, not being perfect every time.
Yes, please remember this. You are learning a new language. That takes time, and your life is probably full of many other responsibilities. So be gentle with yourself. If you miss a day, just pick it up again the next day. Don't feel bad, don't feel guilty, just continue. Say to yourself, "I'm back. I'm trying again." And each time you return, your brain learns that it's safe to keep going. You don't need to feel ashamed. You just need to feel proud that you're showing up for yourself.
So, to wrap up this section, staying consistent is one of the biggest secrets to achieving any SMART goal, and you can make it easier by creating a small routine, using tools and reminders, and being kind to yourself when things don't go perfectly.
And remember, procrastination is normal. We all do it sometimes. But you are stronger than your excuses. Just take that first small step, again and again, and you'll be amazed at how far you can go.
All right, friends, let's keep going on this journey together. You're doing an amazing job by simply listening and learning today. Now, let's move to something really encouraging and important, something that many students forget to do when they're working toward their goals. This is about tracking your progress and celebrating your small wins. You see, when we set a goal, especially a SMART goal, we often focus on the final result. For example, someone might say, "I want to speak English fluently," but that goal can take time, maybe months or even years. And if you don't see results quickly, you might feel frustrated or lose your motivation. That's why it's super important to notice all the little steps you take along the way, because they matter just as much as the big ones.
Exactly, Adam. So many students, especially beginners, think that unless they reach the final goal, they haven't succeeded. But that's not true at all. Real progress happens in small steps. It's like climbing a mountain. You don't reach the top in one jump. You take one step at a time. Each step matters. And every time you complete a small part of your goal, you should recognize it, write it down, and even celebrate it in some way. This helps your brain feel proud and excited, and it gives you the energy to keep moving forward.
Let's begin with tracking. One of the best ways to see your progress is by keeping a simple progress journal. This doesn't have to be long or perfect. You can use a notebook, a phone app, or even just a piece of paper. Every day or every week, write down what you did. For example, listen to a podcast, practice 10 new words, or spoke for 5 minutes. That's it. Just write what you did, not what you didn't do. This is a way to show yourself that you are moving forward, even if the steps are small.
Yes, and here's something else. Writing about your learning experience also helps you remember more. When you write down what you learned, your brain processes the information more deeply. It becomes real, not just something in your head. And you can also add how you felt. For example, "Today I felt confident," or "Today was hard, but I didn't give up." These notes will help you see how strong and consistent you really are. And later, when you look back after a few weeks, you'll be amazed at how far you've come.
Now let's talk about small wins. Many people think a win has to be something big, like getting a certificate or finishing an English book. But actually, a small win is any moment when you do something that helps you grow. For example, using a new English word in a conversation is a win. Understanding a short English video is a win. Asking a question in English, even if it's simple, is a win. All these little moments are proof that you are improving.
That's right. And the more you notice these moments, the more motivated you'll feel. It's like giving yourself a high five every time you take a step. These positive feelings give you energy. And when your brain feels happy about learning, it becomes easier to stay consistent. So every time you complete a part of your SMART goal, say to yourself, "I did it," or "That's progress." Even smiling and writing a check mark can make a big difference. Don't wait until the end to celebrate. Celebrate along the way.
Now let's talk about celebration. You might think, I'm just learning English. Do I really need to celebrate? The answer is, yes, you do. Celebrating doesn't mean you throw a big party. It just means giving yourself a little reward. For example, after completing your study goal for the week, you can treat yourself to something small, maybe a favorite snack, a short break, a relaxing walk, or watching your favorite movie. These rewards help connect positive feelings with your learning experience.
Yes, and celebrations are not just for fun. They are powerful tools for your brain. When you reward yourself, your brain gets a signal that says, "This is good. Let's do it again." And that makes it easier to repeat the behavior. You can even create a small reward system for yourself. For example, if you complete your goal for 5 days, you get a small reward. If you complete your goal for a month, maybe a bigger one, like buying a new book or going to your favorite place. These small rewards keep your energy up and help you stay focused over time.
One more important part of tracking your progress is reviewing and adjusting. Every 2 weeks or once a month, take a moment to review your journal or your tracker. Look at what you've done. Look at the small wins. Then ask yourself, what's working well? What needs to change? Maybe you realize that your study time is too long and you feel tired. Or maybe you notice that listening to podcasts is your favorite part. Use this information to adjust your plan. Remember, SMART goals are not frozen. You can always update them to fit your life better.
That's so important. When we review our progress, we become more aware of our habits, our strengths, and our struggles. This helps us grow faster and smarter. You don't need to wait until you reach the final goal to reflect. Review regularly and make small changes when needed. And don't forget to look at how far you've already come. That will give you more confidence to keep going.
So let's recap this section. First, keep a simple journal of your daily or weekly actions. Second, notice and celebrate small wins. They are powerful. Third, reward yourself for being consistent. And finally, review your progress and adjust your plan to make it even better.
You're doing great just by listening to this episode and learning step by step. Every minute you spend improving your English is a small win. And we're here to celebrate with you.
Absolutely. Stay with us. There's still more to learn. You're not alone on this journey. You've done so well by staying with us through this entire journey of setting SMART goals. Now it's time to talk about something that is often the reason people give up too soon, and that is motivation and burnout. When we start working toward our goals, we feel excited, we have energy. But as time passes, that motivation sometimes disappears. We get tired, or we feel bored, or we think, this is too hard. If this has happened to you before, don't worry. You're not alone. It happens to everyone. But the good news is, we can manage it. We can stay motivated and avoid burnout if we know how to listen to ourselves, take breaks, and bring joy into our routine.
Yes, Adam. Motivation isn't something that always stays the same. It goes up and down like waves in the ocean. Some days you feel powerful, and other days you feel like doing nothing. That's normal. What matters is not waiting for motivation to come back, but learning how to keep going even when motivation is low. And to do that, you need to build habits, stay flexible, and take care of your mind and body. So in this section, we're going to share some simple beginner-friendly tips to help you stay strong, feel inspired, and keep your SMART goals alive, without feeling tired or overwhelmed.
Let's start with one of the most important ideas. Many people wait for motivation before they start doing something. But motivation can be like a cloud. Sometimes it's there, and sometimes it's not. That's why it's better to focus on building habits. Habits are small actions you do again and again until they become a part of your daily life. For example, brushing your teeth is a habit. You don't need motivation to do it. You just do it every day. So if your SMART goal is to practice English speaking, build a habit of speaking for 10 minutes every morning. Do it even if you don't feel excited. After a few weeks, it will become automatic.
That's a great point. When you rely only on motivation, you might stop when you're tired or busy. But when you have a strong habit, you keep going no matter what. And the best way to build a habit is to start small. Don't say, "I will study for 2 hours every day." That's too big and hard to keep. Instead, say, "I will listen to English for 10 minutes each day," or "I will learn 3 new words before bed." Make it so easy that you can do it even on your worst day. Over time, these small habits grow into big changes. And that keeps you moving forward even without strong motivation.
Now let's talk about something people often forget: taking breaks. When you're excited about learning, you might try to do too much. Study all day, listen to podcasts all evening, memorize long word lists. But if you don't rest, your brain becomes tired and your body feels stressed. That's called burnout. Burnout makes you feel slow, frustrated, and even sad. And when you feel that way, it's very hard to continue learning. So remember this: rest is not lazy. Rest is part of the process. Taking short breaks helps your brain absorb information better.
That's so true. Learning is like exercising your brain. And just like your body, your brain needs recovery. You can use simple methods like the Pomodoro technique. Study for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. After 4 rounds, take a longer break. During your break, move your body, take deep breaths, drink water, or listen to calming music. Don't go on social media. That can make your brain more tired. Just relax and let your mind rest. When you return, you'll feel more focused and ready to continue.
Here's another tip to stay motivated. Always remember your why. Why did you start learning English? Was it for a job, to travel, to study abroad, or to talk with international friends? Your why is your personal reason, your deep purpose. Sometimes we forget our why when we're busy or tired, but when you reconnect with it, your motivation comes back. So write your reason down and put it somewhere you can see every day, maybe on your wall, your notebook, or your phone screen. This reminder will help you stay strong on the difficult days.
Yes, and your why can grow or change. Maybe at first you started learning English for fun, but now you want to use it for work or to study in another country. That's okay. Just keep your why clear in your heart and mind. Whenever you feel like giving up, take a few minutes, close your eyes, and think about your dream. Imagine it clearly. This visualization gives your brain a goal to aim for, and it becomes easier to keep going, one step at a time.
Now, let's not forget about fun. Learning doesn't have to feel like work all the time. In fact, the more you enjoy it, the easier it becomes. If your SMART goal feels boring, try changing your method. Watch English movies you like. Listen to English songs. Read books or comics that interest you. Play language games. Use English in your hobbies. The brain learns better when it's having fun, because it releases chemicals that help memory and focus.
Exactly. If you only do grammar exercises, you might get bored or feel tired. But if you mix fun into your routine, you'll stay motivated. You can even study with a friend, join an online English group, or talk to people from other countries. Remember, your goal is not just to learn English, but to use it in your real life. And the more fun you have using English, the more confident you'll feel. So find joy in the journey, because that's how real learning happens.
So to summarize, don't rely only on motivation. Build small habits. Take breaks to rest your brain and avoid burnout. Keep your personal why close to your heart, and always find ways to enjoy the process. If you do these things, your SMART goals will not feel like pressure. They will feel like a path to something exciting.
You're doing an amazing job just by listening and learning with us. Even when it feels slow or difficult, remember, you are moving forward. You're not alone. And we're here to walk this journey with you every step of the way.
We've talked a lot about setting SMART goals, staying motivated, and celebrating progress. But now let's discuss one of the biggest challenges many learners face: overcoming obstacles and staying consistent over time. No matter how much you want to succeed, obstacles will come in your way. These obstacles can be simple, like feeling tired after a long day, or more complicated, like dealing with a busy schedule, lack of support from family or friends, or even moments when you doubt your ability to learn. But here's the truth. Obstacles are normal and part of every success story. What makes the difference is how you respond to these obstacles, how you prepare for them, and how you keep going despite them. Consistency, or the ability to do something regularly and without giving up, is the secret ingredient in achieving your SMART goals.
That's a very important point, Adam. Many beginners feel excited in the beginning but lose interest because they face difficulties or distractions. Sometimes people think that if they miss one day of study, they have failed completely. But this kind of thinking is not helpful. Instead, it's better to accept that life is unpredictable. Some days will be harder than others. The key is not to let a small mistake or a missed day turn into a full stop. Instead, when you face an obstacle, try to understand it, learn from it, and then find a way to keep moving forward. In fact, overcoming these challenges builds your strength and makes your success even more meaningful.
One helpful way to stay consistent is to think ahead about what obstacles you might face. For example, if you know that you have a busy day at work or school, plan shorter study sessions for that day or prepare simple activities that don't require too much energy, like listening to an English song or reviewing vocabulary flashcards. If you find it difficult to focus at home because of noise or distractions, try to find a quiet space or use headphones to help you concentrate. By identifying your personal obstacles before they happen, you create a plan that helps you avoid getting stuck or frustrated.
Yes, planning ahead can make a huge difference. Another obstacle can be feeling lonely while learning, especially if you don't have friends or family who support your English journey. In this case, look for online communities or language exchange groups where you can meet other learners. Talking to others who share your goals can encourage you and make learning more fun. Also, remember that it's okay to ask for help from teachers, friends, or online resources. You don't have to do this alone.
Another way to stay consistent is to use reminders and checkpoints. You can set alarms on your phone, use a calendar, or keep a visual chart where you mark each day that you practice English. These reminders help you build the habit and keep your goal visible every day. Also, setting small checkpoints, like I will learn 10 new words this week, or I will speak English for 5 minutes every day for a week, gives you a clear target to work toward. When you reach a checkpoint, celebrate it, and then set the next one. These small successes help keep your motivation alive and make big goals less scary.
That's right. When goals are too big or far away, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. But breaking them down into small steps and celebrating each step creates a feeling of accomplishment. And this feeling pushes you forward. Plus, when you use reminders, your brain gets signals to focus on what's important, even on days when you don't feel excited. Over time, these small actions become part of your daily routine and help you grow steadily.
Now here is a very important tip about your mindset. Many learners face negative thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I will never speak English well, or I'm too old to learn. These thoughts are common but very harmful. They can stop you from trying or make you feel discouraged. Instead, practice positive self-talk. This means speaking kindly to yourself and encouraging yourself like you would encourage a friend. For example, say to yourself, I am improving every day. Mistakes are part of learning, or I am proud of my effort. Positive self-talk builds your confidence and helps you face obstacles with courage.
Absolutely, Adam. Negative thinking is a common barrier, but you can change it by practicing awareness. When you notice a negative thought, stop and replace it with a positive or neutral thought. It's a skill that takes time, but it makes a big difference in your motivation and persistence. Remember, learning a language is a journey, not a race. Celebrate progress, not perfection, and be patient with yourself. Everyone makes mistakes. That's how we learn and grow.
Finally, remember that staying consistent doesn't mean you have to be perfect every day or never change your plan. Life changes, and sometimes your goals or methods need to change too. If you find your goal too difficult or your schedule too busy, don't be afraid to adjust your SMART goal. Maybe you change a hard goal into an easier one, or you change your study time from 2 hours to 30 minutes. The important thing is to keep moving forward, even if the pace is slower. Flexibility is a strength. It allows you to keep learning and growing without feeling stuck or stressed.
Yes, and adapting your goals shows that you're aware of your needs and limits, which is very mature. It means you respect yourself and your journey. Sometimes stepping back to take care of your mental or physical health will help you come back stronger. So keep your eyes on the big picture, but adjust your steps when necessary. Consistency is about persistence, not perfection.
So, to recap this section, expect obstacles and plan for them, use reminders and small checkpoints to stay on track, practice positive self-talk to build confidence, and be flexible with your goals as life changes. These strategies will help you overcome challenges and keep going toward your SMART goals, no matter what happens.
You're doing an incredible job by listening and learning. Remember, every step you take brings you closer to your dreams. Keep believing in yourself and don't give up. We are with you every step of the way.